Josh, how do you sum up that day? Obviously, good to take a first innings lead, but obviously would have liked to be a few less down at stumps.
Yeah, probably just exactly that. I thought we bowled pretty well for the majority of the day. The ball probably got a little bit soft towards the end. Well, quite soft, and the wicket got. So it doesn't have much pace, but I think the new ball is obviously key. We've seen that probably throughout the whole series. So this wicket's no different. As we saw there late at night, that's the toughest time to bat with the new ball. And I guess if you can get through that, we've seen runs flow through the middle order more so. But yeah, I think from a bowling effort, it was pretty good. We stuck to our guns, we created opportunities, and yeah, as you said, the first innings lead.
Did you find that it started to play a few more tricks today at the wicket? Obviously, the new ball brings it out a little bit more. We saw with a couple of balls there to Usman. Are you finding that as well throughout your innings?
Yeah, I think any new ball from here on in will be very hard work. I think the wicket probably held together better than I thought it would after looking at it before the game. But again, the soft ball doesn't do too much off it. So I think, yeah, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow how the wicket actually plays and if it sort of goes off a cliff or it just continually slowly gets harder to bat. But I think it definitely won't get easier to bat.
What'd you make of Pat's caught and bowled? He made yours look pretty comfortable there, didn't he?
Just before he bowled it, I thought, where's his bat pad? Because it's sort of been in the game a lot. And I thought they had it before. We had a couple of close calls in there. So, hell of a grab. He's taken some good ones, I think, caught and bowls over the years. So, yeah, it's good.
A 30-40 minute session like that is always tough for openers. You've obviously got one guy who's been there a lot in his career and one who hasn't. Just kind of, I know it's not your job to go out there and just talk through, I guess, what the feeling is like around the dressing room when you know you've got just that. You can't really gain much, you can only lose things, really.
Yeah, I think, obviously never been in the position, but it must be the hardest time to bat, to be honest. I know they're just fielding out there, they're not bowling, but they're still going to be, it was very taxing out there in that heat. Bit heavy-legged, and then you obviously got to go straight out and face potentially what is the hardest time to bat. So yeah, it's unfortunate we lost two, but good signs from Greeny there and Gaz to get through, and as long as we get through that new ball potentially tomorrow for the first hour, I think batting's going to be a little bit easier. So, but yeah, I think that's probably a fair bit of respect for the openers. They get thrown in those situations quite a lot.
I know there's a bit to play out, but do you sense it's a similar thing where 200 might be a tough chase, or do you suspect you might want a bit more than that?
Yeah, I think sort of have to see how the first hour goes tomorrow. If it's sort of potentially, there's going to be up and down throughout the whole day, but if it does, the wicket does change as quickly as Barbados, then potentially 200 might be enough. But yeah, you always want more.
Josh, you got thrown into international cricket very young. Sammy's in a similar boat. It's a pretty intense time for him now, no doubt. Do you have any advice for a guy of his age, having been there and done that, and how to navigate this period for him?
Yeah, it's tough to take my mind back to those times, really. It was a long time ago. But I think just you're here for a reason. I guess you just trust that. You're in this position because you're a good player. I just said before, every time I've bowled him in the last few months, he just sort of keeps getting better and better, it feels like. He's such a quick learner, he absorbs everything. In particular, obviously, from the other batters. You've got Steve Smith there to learn off. You've got someone like Marnus as well, who loves talking batting. So, he got thrown in a tough situation there. But, it feels like he just keeps... We saw in the first innings, he played some really nice shots, put some pressure back on the bowlers. So I think he's trending in the right direction. But yeah, it's tough at 19.
In what way, if any, did the bowling unit's plans change from the way you bowled in Barbados?
Not a great deal. I think you've got to keep it pretty simple in there. Repeat entries into the right areas. We found potentially maybe back of a length was doing more off the wicket today than that fuller 5-6 metre length. So I guess the stumps might not have been in play as much, but I think as the time goes on this wicket, I think the stumps are going to be hugely in play. So it's just about, again, smacking that length, getting that up and down movement and going from there.
Is it possible to identify the sort of areas of the pitch where the ball is just shooting and keeping low?
It was in Barbados. There was a nice little crack for right armers to right-handers from one end, as we saw most of the wickets fall that end. But this one sort of got a few little things going on all over. Doesn't feel like anything's on a perfect spot, but If you get a shooter from any length, it's pretty much trouble. So we'll see tomorrow.
Do you know how Nathan Lyon is, what that issue was towards the end, and if he's gone all right?
Yeah, I only saw him briefly as he came in, but I think he'll be right. He's a pretty tough customer.
And there was that period back in Perth when Pat Cummins, when Pat was night watchman. Like, is the policy now it's Nathan's job again? Do you know how that's all worked out?
No, I've no idea actually. I think Gaz is predominantly the night watchman. Paddy, if you've seen him well, he might want to get up the order. But yeah, I think whoever does it, as we saw Gaz do a great job tonight. So yeah, it's a tricky position, but yeah, Gaz is always taking it on.
And just that 10th wicket stand from the Windies, I mean, clearly Alzari and Shamar were really attacking a lot, and the last two were sort of just blocking them and leaving them. What was going through your mind then, and did you sort of try to change a few different things?
There wasn't much really we could do. The ball was in its 70 overs old. It was as soft a ball as I've seen in a long time. Wicket wasn't offering a great deal. I think obviously the more dangerous partnership was when the Joseph boys were batting together. We didn't feel at the end there that they were getting away from us at all. They were just chipping it around, getting the odd run here or there, which is you can relax a little bit more and stick to what we're doing. But Trav's got the golden arm. He loves coming on and picking up wickets when no one else can. So it's good to have him there.
Josh, you mentioned it was pretty hot out there. Just how many sets of whites did you go through today, do you reckon?
I got 3 of each. I got 3 shirts, 3 pants, but we cycled through those probably half a dozen times each. So yeah, it was a tough day out there. It was hot. I don't know how the Windies boys found it yesterday, but today just felt humid. I think maybe after the rain last night, but yeah, it's tough.
And there's no talk of Gaz. He's handed over the song. He's not trying to hand over the night watching duties as well.
He probably would if he could. Deep down, I think he loves it though.